Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. For regular viewers and listeners of AWI Pod, please do not be offended, as this program contains good wrestling.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A Cup of UK Heritage. I believe this is episode 9. I could totally be wrong about that, but I believe it's episode 9. I'm your host, Brent Piles, and of course, if we're doing the Cup of UK Heritage, and that means my co-host, 1/3 of the tag team that we do here at AWI Pod, a work in progress. It's GA Wrestling Nut Glenn. Glenn, how you doing?
Good evening, Grapple fans. And yes, I am doing very well, thank you.
Is it hot? Is it hot over there, Glenn? How hot is it?
It's been quite warm all day, but it cooled down a bit. I'll just shut the window now. But we are 11 o'clock at night, so he's expected to cool down a little bit.
Well, you would hope that it's not hot as fucking 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's hot at 11 o'clock at night, you know it was really hot during the day. Definitely. We're coming to you a little bit later this week, obviously, because it was the 4th of July holiday over here. The day where we remember that time we kicked those slimy, tea-sucking British bastards back across the Atlantic Ocean. I'm only doing this in memorative of Jeremy because he would have done it to you. So sorry.
That's fine. As I say, I'm quite pleased because you saved us a bloody fortune.
Yeah, we did you a favor. We really did.
Yeah. We had all the US debt piled on us even to this day if we had got your independence.
You don't want that, Glenn. It's a mess.
Exactly.
Well, the good news is the 4th of July came and went, and I have all of my fingers, toes, and other extremities, and so do both of my children. So that's all that we can hope for when that happens. Also, Glenn, I think we'll probably talk a little bit more about this tomorrow or today when you people are going to view this, because we'll be recording a new episode of the Mayor of Superstars tonight, which we're on the road to WrestleMania 9. It'll be the last episode of Superstars before we start watching WrestleMania 9, so you're not going to want to miss that. Big premium live event this weekend, huh, Glenn?
Certainly. It was. It was excellent as well.
Yeah, there's not a match on that show that I can look at and say, well, that wasn't good. Not one.
And unfortunately, you're still the champion by getting another draw.
What can I say, Glenn? What can I say? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Glenn. What can you do?
It's like trying to battle the Nation of Domination with you. You never get a clean win, but you never lose.
It's kind of funny how that works. I even tried to tell you guys to do a tiebreaker, but we just didn't do one. And so you can't blame me because I tried to fuck myself out of the championship, but you wouldn't let me.
For some reason, there didn't look any way with our all different picks that was going to be a draw.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so either.
We managed it. Oh well, never mind.
We figured it out.
As I say, we talk about that when the mayor's here as well, I'm sure.
We will talk about the moment where I went total 10-year-old child in my living room and completely lost my fucking mind. We'll talk about that tomorrow with the mayor. Yeah, good Lord. I'll just say this. I wish that I had like a camera in my living room so I could have recorded my reaction, because it probably would have went viral because I lost.
I tell you what, if we were doing a live reaction show to that, you would have seen the pair of us going apeshit. especially when he came out there and basically announced that they're going to give us WrestleMania at some point.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had him come out there and do that if they wanted, you know.
No, of course not. No, you don't will John Cena out and say, we're going to torment you by saying that I want you to have a WrestleMania, but the powers that be might not do it.
Yeah. They don't want to really wow you up. And I said this on Twitter. if afternoon WrestleMania for me sounds 100% great. I love it. Let's fucking do it. Sign me up.
But the thing is these guys and girls that we're covering from NXT UK are basically the reason we're getting this.
Yeah.
Because if NXT UK hadn't been such a success, and I don't care what people said or thought about it, it was a success. Because it shows by the amount of them that are now in NXT. And the ones... And the ones that aren't are only there, are not there because of issues with getting into the country, shall we say?
That and maybe, or they already have prior commitments and
There's people. Yeah, of course, there's people like Wild Boar,
right,
who's got his own wrestling company. You know, he's got his own promotion. He didn't need to go to NXT.
That's why we had to talk about that a little bit on this show, because we are talking about, NXT UK, and so potentially the UK getting a WrestleMania would be great. What do you think they have that at Wembley? It's got to be Wembley, right?
It's got to be it's either it'll be Wembley or the Tottenham Stadium,
right?
Because of the NFL connection and everything there. Right. I'm sure some strings could be pulled to get that even.
And those two stadiums are already set up to hold big sort of events like that, because they've
that's right.
Already, so.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about that with the mayor. You'll be able to hear that on Sunday with the new mayor of Superstar South. But today, Glenn, we're going to review these the last two semi-final matches in the NXT UK Heritage Cup #1 Contenders Tournament. And the first match, Glenn, was amazing.
2 amazing matches. Absolutely 2 unbelievable matches from beginning to end. I thoroughly enjoyed both of them. But as you say, so totally different. Yeah. We had the cockroach against the rat, basically.
In the battle to see who is slimier and nastier, Noam Dar took on Kenny Williams.
For the first bell, the pair of them couldn't have got any slimier if they'd tried. With Dar tormenting Williams, and then Williams pulling Dar's hair, and
a lot of John back and forth, and a lot of one-upsmanship in the first round here, which was basically went on through most of the round until there was about 40 seconds left.
I know that we're used to, in the first rounds of these matches, you get the usual arm bars and headlocks and the feeling out. So what does Noam Dar do when he's got Kenny Williams in a headlock? Basically, what they would technically call a rest hold. But he's not resting. He's rubbing his forearm across Kenny's nose.
Of course.
Just tormenting him all.
There was one point where Dar had Kenny Williams in an arm bar, Keith Cole style. And Williams just hauls off and just stomps really hard on Noam Dar's foot. And the look that Noam Dar gave him after he did that was like, "You motherfucker." And then he resorted to getting into Williams and like just running his elbow into his ribs and slamming his elbow into his ribs. And then both guys just started landing big punches on each other. And even just after the bell rings, both of them being slimy and cheating, both go for a punch right after the bell ring.
Because they've both got history of this in earlier rounds, hitting people after the bell. So they both go for it.
And the timing of that was so perfect. They both punched each other right in the face at the same time. It was just perfect timing.
Dear.
And they kind of talked about in the first round too about how Noam Dar kind of brought Kenny Williams into NXT UK and kind of was trying to push Kenny Williams into, he needed to be more edgy and he can't be this smiley everybody's best friend Kenny Williams, and that Kenny Williams is kind of he's kind of taking that on now, as Noam Dar said it to him a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And then we head into the second round. Williams starts this round off very strong. The second round lands a lot of big punches. He starts like thrusting all of his weight into the lower back of Noam Dar.
There's one bit there where, excuse me, Noam had his back to him, and he drop kicked him in the back.
Yeah.
And of course, that at that point, they get Nigel McGuinness goes with his usual name dropping.
Yep.
Was it Jim Breaks and Tony Sinclair?
Yeah.
For some reason, I know Jim Breaks. Some of the things they were doing were very sort of Jim Breaks style cheating, but.
Yeah, and then so at one point, Kenny Williams kind of like feigns a knee injury, but ends up being all bullshit. Noam Dar runs towards him, and Williams rolls him up and uses a big handful of tights to get the 3 count. And Kenny Williams goes up 1-0 in the who can cheat more contest.
Yeah, that's there's no one going to the referee. He's fighting it. The referee's holding Noam back. Kenny's there laughing.
Yeah. And Noam's telling him, Noam Dar's telling the referee, he's laughing. He's
not funny. Because he loses his temper, he gets rolled up.
And of course, the handful of tights always helps.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The third round begins, and Kenny Williams still keeping control of this round he gets out of the ring at first. Dar chases him out. He gets back in. When Dar gets back in, of course, he kicks him in the back of the head. He even takes his fingernails and runs them down Noam Dar's back 2 or 3 times during this round. It was a dominating early part of this round for Kenny Williams. Yes.
Yeah. And then, as Noam does, he starts working on Kenny, beats him up a bit, and he's about to pin him, and Kenny gets saved by the bell.
Well, no, he locks him up in a knee bar.
That was it. Yeah, the submission, and he gets saved by the bell.
Williams, before he locked him in the knee bar too, he just about got the win too. Williams did with another roll up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Dar locks in the knee bar, but then the bell rings, and so we will head to the 4th round with Kenny Williams still up 1-0. Seems to be a running thing with Noam Dar that he's down going into the later rounds and these things.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, something we forgot to mention at the beginning, he hasn't got a second.
Right.
Neither of them had seconds in this match.
Well, nobody likes Kenny Williams, so he's not going to get one.
No. And Noam Dar has abused every second that he's had that hasn't been Charles Samuel. So there was no surprise there that he didn't have a second, but I was surprised that Shaw hadn't shown up.
I think they said something at the beginning along the lines of Dar wants to prove that he can do it without any help, and that's why Shaw Samuel has been out there. And of course, that was Nigel that said that. You know, Nigel's good at dropping those subtle things.
Yeah.
So, Dar hits a big kick to the face to Kenny Williams.
It looked like it rang his bell, that one.
It really did. He then tries to go for the pin and put his feet up on the ropes, but the referee catches him. So that doesn't work. And then while Dar's kind of arguing back and forth with the referee,
Kenny's trying to do his turnbuckle.
Yeah, first Kenny charges at his knee and takes out Dar's knee, and then that's when Kenny goes for the turnbuckle pad. And while he's doing that, Noam Dar kind of rolls over and grabs Kenny Williams' water bottle, because Noam Dar, being the slimy guy he is, knows exactly what this slimy Kenny Williams is thinking, because whatever it is that you think you are, Kenny Williams, I am. So I just always had to get that in there because that was a great promo. So the ref goes over there to try to put the buckle pad back on. Kenny runs over to try to get his water bottle, but it ain't there, is it?
No. He turns around and gets crushed on the head with it.
No, Dar threw it at him, Eddie Guerrero style.
That's it. Yeah, he did the old trick, didn't he? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw it to him. While why the referee decided whether to disqualify Williams or not. Noam locks him in the Supernova 2 shirt knee bar.
Yep, and gets the tap out, and of course Dar holds on to it a little bit after the bell because that's what Noam Dar does.
Of course.
So yeah, that was really good storytelling, and like the subtleness of it too, because you could see at the end of that round, Kenny Williams takes a drink of his water bottle, and he has the person who is doing a corner for him put the lid on it, and then he sets it on the ring steps and gives it a good look at it. So you're like, oh, he's planning to do what he did last time because that's how he won his last match. But you can't outsmart Noam Dar because he's too smart. So
that's right. We start round 5. Noam's weakened Kenny's knee with the knee bar in the previous round. So he goes and kicks and punching, stomps on the knee.
Yeah, he hit one of those beautiful spinning back elbows that he does for a 2 count. Kenny Williams lands a big clothesline, who also gets a 2 count. Kenny Williams then starts mocking Noam Dar like he's going to go for a Nova roller. And at this point, I'm like, well, he's going to lose because you shouldn't start mocking the Supernova.
No.
And then when he tries to run for the Nova roller, Dar rolls out of the ring.
Yeah. Kenny goes out after him. Of course, Noah dives back in. And for anybody that's not watching it, if you remember how, what's his name? The spooky guy.
Dexter
Loomis used to come out under the ring. There's a cloth cap suddenly appears from under the ring, and it's attached to Sha Samuels, who hangs on to Kenny's leg.
And of course, that then allows Dar to land a kick to the chest of Kenny Williams. He then lands the Nova roller for the 3 count. We then see Sha Samuels crawl out of the other side of the ring over the barricade and then skips onto the back, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Noam Dar is the winner, and he is headed to the finals.
He certainly is.
What a chef's kiss at the end of that. Just good.
It was brilliant. And it was a little sort of hint of what was to come.
Right. Yeah.
With
Noam was a little bit more physical than that match was.
You can say that again.
Yeah. When I looked at this and I saw it was Wolfgang versus Teoman, I said, well, this one may get unprofessional.
Yep. And as I told you last week, as you were aware of, Teoman was trained by Walter in XWA. So
he knows how to lay it in.
And take it.
Both guys, yes. Both guys know lay it and take it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a hard man from Glasgow against a hard man from Germany. This is it was violent.
It definitely was. Wolfgang uses his power and size advantage on Teoman to kind of take advantage early on.
My note for the beginning of this was Wolfie beating the shit out of Teoman. Is that basically
credit, he don't back down from that big son of a bitch.
No,
not once in this entire match. No matter how hard Wolfgang beats the shit out of him, does Teoman back down? He just keeps coming at him, even though he's gotten the shit kicked out of him multiple times.
Yeah, and was basically a squash of the first round.
Yeah,
Wolfie picks him up, and what they describe as a caber toss drop, which I've never heard of before. It was a nasty. It was a nasty plunge onto Teoman's side rather than taking a flat back bump.
Yeah, I'm glad you wrote down what they called it because I wasn't sure what they said, and I was going to ask you ever heard the name of that.
No, that was another thing that Nigel made up, I think.
Probably, yeah.
For the point.
Yeah, but so we get a rare first round decision as Wolfgang gets an early pinfall here and gets a 3 count. He's up 1-0 early on Teoman. And we head to the second round where Teoman is really just doing anything that he can do in the opening minute to try to get the upper hand and try to break through the power advantage and the size advantage of Wolfgang. But he's really not able to do it until after about a minute into the round, he's able to sidestep Wolfgang, who's charging at him, and it sends him crashing to the outside. He's finally able to get some offensive moves in.
Yeah, because Wolf is hurt that arm that was already bandaged up.
Right, from the last match.
Last match, yeah.
And Teoman uses the ring skirt, actually. He kind of puts it over Wolfgang's head and just starts landing a bunch of punches right to his face.
Of course.
And then he gets up on the top rope and lands a beautiful drop kick to the back of Wolfgang's head, but that only leads to a 2 count. And just as the round ends, Wolfgang lands like a nice uppercut, and it looked like he was going to throw it like with 1 second left.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like he wouldn't have been able to stop anyway. So I don't
know. No, that was definitely not a Noam Dar, Kenny Williams type after the bell.
Right, that wasn't perfect.
That was the fist was already in motion before the bell rang.
Yeah, definitely. We get to the third round. Teoman finally able to get some offense on Wolfgang in the third with some help from Rohan Raj on the outside, and then he's able to hit like a big jaw a big elbow to the jaw.
Yeah, that's better.
Teoman took his jaw and ran into Wolfgang's elbow. It was weird.
Yeah.
But no. He hits him in the jaw with his elbow. Teoman does Wolfgang, and he gets the 3 count, and we are tied up. That was fairly early on in the third round too. It was like a minute in, I think.
Yeah, this was short and sweet. This match, although it went 4 rounds, none of the rounds, apart from I think the second, went the full 3 minutes,
and none of them went like 90 seconds. Other than that one round, yeah. Fourth round starts. Teoman, of course, is still working on that right arm of Wolfgang that had been bandaged up before.
That was a really accurate drop kick that Teoman hit right on his elbow.
Yeah,
that looks a bit painful because there's no way you can sort of cushion that.
No, not to the elbow.
No,
not at all. Things break down a little bit. Rohan Raja has got up on the apron a couple of times in this match, and so he does it again. And the Coffee Brothers aren't going to stand around and let that happen. So one gets up on the apron, the other one goes over there and punches Rohan Raja in the face, as one does.
Yeah. That's right. Which he deserved, to be honest.
Yeah, as I said, he got up there like 2 or 3 times. So I was surprised that they let him get up there as many times as they did without punching him, to be honest with you.
I know there's one point where Wolfgang hits Teoman with such a stiff uppercut that it virtually lifted him out of his boots. But you can see the pain on Wolfie's face as well because he's left-handed. That's the arm that hurts.
Yeah. And then Teoman's like arguing with Coffee on the outside. And then Wolfgang's able to hit a spear and get the 3 count.
I'll tell you what, that is the first time I've ever seen him hit a spear. And it was a spear that Roman Reigns would have been proud of.
Yeah, that wasn't one of them little spears. No, that was
he took him out completely there.
Yeah, definitely. And he gets the 3 count, so that means the finals will be Noam Dar and Wolfgang, and the winner of that will get to face Tyler Bate, and those will be the 2 matches that we review next week. And I can tell you, both those matches are incredible, and it's going to be great to review them, and I'm much looking forward to that.
So am I. I'm looking forward to seeing them again before we review those.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. Well, Glenn, that's it for this episode. What do we need to plug before we get out of here?
Oh, I don't know.
That's why he's got the list, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm booking the territory with Rob and Danny. Bang Bang with Andy. DDT with DC and Doc. And the Doctor Who podcast for those that are into sci-fi with Danny and Si.
The Doctor Who podcast for those who are into sci-fi with Danny and Si. Like I did that?
Yeah, that's about it.
Anyway, make sure you check out SportsWire Radio. Give our buddy Thomas Bryce a follow on Twitter at Thomas Bryce 2017 or at Thomas Bryce 2020 on Instagram. Give their give their YouTube page a follow to SportsWire Radio. Give our YouTube page a follow. We are at 140 subscribers. We're trying to get to 200. We're trying to get to 1 million, but we're trying to get to 200 first.
Yeah.
And make sure you give our the third member of our team, the mayor of Canton, a follow on Twitter at mayor of Canton. And make sure you check out A Meal with the Mayor every Wednesday. Did he put one out yesterday? He probably forgot it was Wednesday. I sure did.
Yeah. I don't think he did. I think it's been a strange week. So
yeah, you got to give us Americans a break. We thought Wednesday was Monday and Monday was Wednesday. So
yeah.
Well, that's it, Glenn. Now
that's what you get. That's what you get for having a holiday on a Tuesday.
That's true. That is true. That's the worst part about having a holiday on a Tuesday is you have to go back to work on Wednesday.
Hey, you're working Monday and Wednesday and have a day off on Tuesday. It's a bit strange.
Yeah. What can you do? What can you do? But yeah, that's gonna be it for us. And the only thing left for us to do is to have Glenn say goodbye.
Goodbye.